I'm not about to lie, I was not planning on making this video, but the fact that the fuck ass nigga that we all know as the Comic Curator decided to spread more lies about me is fucking insane. So now I have to make this video. I thought this would end after the Curator Files, which I exposed almost everything that the Comic Curator has ever lied about or said. But then yet again, he just decided to spread more lies about me. So I have to make this video. Just like Drip and Zeta made 30 long form videos trying to expose each other, which I don't really give a fuck about, right? I'm going to make a 30-minute long video at best trying to debunk the Comic Curator. Because if you looked at the thumbnail, there is a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about. I know I said most of this in the Curator Files, but I know people are not really about to look at my live streams like that, and videos are really the only way to get my message across. Because not only do I not have that many view counts or subscriber counts, the Comic Curator also has a very, very high subscriber count and view count, which will make them believe him more than me, which is actually kind of fucking crazy. So this is pretty much the definitive video of exposing all the Comic Curator's lies, everything he's lied about, anything controversial he's ever said. Red X is also supposed to be making a video as well, so make sure you subscribe to him because he's also going to be explaining stuff that he found as well. And make sure to spread this video. The only reason why I am not winning right now is because the Curator has a very large following on both TikTok and YouTube, so he can spread this around and he'll get like 1,000 views probably in like a couple of hours. So he may be winning at the popularity standpoint, but when it comes to the moral standpoint and who's really right, I'm the really one on top. And any new motherfuckers who've seen the channel for the first time, make sure to look at the previous videos I also do to debunk the Comic Curator. Because not only did I debunk him on many Dragon Ball topics, I also exposed him for knowledge on Japanese and him being a ChatGPT demon as well. But yeah, that's really all needs to be said right now. But without further ado, let's get on to the debunk. So what we're going to be exposing first is some of the most recent shit, some of the most littlest shit that he's been saying as a recent, but it's not really important right now because nobody's about to believe him anyway. But the Comic Curator decided to tell to his 10,000 follower channel that he beat me in a debate twice, which is pretty stupid because we have never debated at all. So let's get to the first one. So one time months ago, I made a statement, I made a video debunking Tom talking about Cell not being universal. So I had to prove indeed why Cell was universal. It was a short 1-minute video, but it still got the job done and increased my follower count. So the Comic Curator decided to appear in my comment section and start claiming I'm wrong, trying to claim different things that are stupid as hell. So I decided to say, hey, yo, I'm just about to join your Discord. I'm about to bring a judge and we're gonna get this done, right? So I brought a judge. Then I also brought a couple other people who wanted to watch the debate, who were my friends. Specifically told them not to do anything, no harassing or whatever. Told them not to interrupt or anything. They're just here to watch the debate. So we ping him a couple times. Once he's finally online, I tell him I'm here to debate about Cell being universal. And of course, I tell him to hop in VC. For his reason, he doesn't like going in VC because he keeps talking about VC gives us magical debating power and shit like that. But I specifically said that I don't do text because VC debates are way better at articulating arguments because text arguments can get easily misinterpreted. Because not only that, the text arguments that he has is completely rage bait. It just proves that he cannot debate at all because he decides to ask me a question that if Cell was universal, did Cell blow up the other world because other world is the same size as the universe? So I responded with no, because Cell's explosion was not intended to blow up the universe. He specifically said that it was going to blow up the Earth. And Cell's explosion was also a controlled explosion, meaning that he could control what he wanted to destroy. And the fact that it took a minute for him to jet all that energy just to destroy the planet, that just proves that it was a controlled explosion. But because Curator thinks that Cells was swelling up, which means that it wasn't controlled, he decided to respond to me that I'm not a real DBZ fan, and that a real DBZ fan will say that Cell's explosion wasn't a controlled explosion. Well, that's pretty contradictory due to the fact that if Cell's explosion was controlled, he would have blew up instantly. Then after that, I specifically told him, hey, let's hop in VC and we can settle this formally. Because not only did I already have a judge, I already have my evidence ready to go and my counter arguments to perfectly counter all of his arguments, right? So then after I told him that I do not text debate because text debates are horrible, he proceeds to say, oh yeah, you're not worth my time, and then proceeds to ban me. So was that a debate? No. The definition of a debate is a formal discussion between two people where each side shows their counter arguments in front of a judge. The fact that not only did we not VC debate, which means there was no judge to judge this debate. The Comic Curator never provided any counter arguments to my shit and proceeded to insult me and say that I'm not a real Dragon Ball fan. So this doesn't fit the criteria of a debate, because not only was it not formal, there was no counter arguments made by the Comic Curator and only insults. So this was not a debate at all. And he claims that he won and I was crying and I broke server rules because I was mad. However, that was not the case, because not only do I have the entire debate inside of the Curator Files, you can look at my live stream. I can also share this Google Drive if anybody needs it to show the full story and all the other bullshit that he's been saying. So the next time he claimed about winning a debate against me was actually yesterday, well tentatively today, since it was at 12 a.m. where he debated some random dude called Batman_723 or some bullshit, I don't know. And he claims that that was me on an alt account. So first of all, that was not me at all, because at 12 o'clock a.m., which I heard is like 3 a.m. in his time, I was sound asleep because I went to sleep at around 10 or 11 p.m. I would stay up till like 12 a.m. But the fact that I didn't stay up till 12 a.m. is because not only did I have a ton of videos to edit for my Yu-Gi-Oh gaming channel once I bring all these videos to my ranting channel, which hopefully hasn't been terminated yet, I also had other work to do, and going to sleep late would have fucked my schedule. Then I woke up at about 4:20 in the morning, and that's why I saw the post that he made about me claiming that I was using an alt account to debate him, when first of all, there are many contradictions with that. From the evidence that I've seen, this could either be that Curator used an alt and pretended to be me to try to say that he beat me, or the most reasonable option, he made another person pretend to be me and use my arguments in a horrible way to try to claim that he won. There's many evidence to also prove that, because not only is this motherfucker 17 and from India, which I'm not from India from all, I'm in the United States and I'm not planning to go to India anytime soon. And not only that, I am older than 17. So this motherfucker's identity already contradicts who the fuck I am. Not only that, this motherfucker is a certified Comic Curator goon. You can literally see him debunking Dragon Ball and dick riding the absolute fuck out of the Comic Curator. So it's just way more evident that he just used another nigga to pretend to be me to try to fake a debate win. Or to see the Red X for giving me these, or else I probably would have never been able to prove my case. But when Red X also came to Comic Curator server with this evidence, he banned him instantly. Thing about the Comic Curator is that he's running from his problems and he refuses to take accountability. So not only did he fake a debate win on me over a thing that wasn't even a debate, he decided to hire another dude to try to be me, which I respect the grind, but hey, nobody can be me, and that's just facts. Jasmine will always be Jasmine, and that Jasmine is me, nigga. Don't try to do that shit again. Then the Comic Curator also tried to say that the account date also was the same date as my account, was when I researched that account, that shit was just made. Not only that, he also tried to claim because the nigga was using my evidence, which can be easily screenshotted from any one of my videos, then that means that that's me. When not only was I sound asleep at that time, the way that dude writes is way different from how I write. Here's how he writes and how I write. Not only that, the nigga said the lamest excuse as a comeback after losing to that nigga, talking about, oh yeah, fuck you. I'm not the type of nigga to respond with a simple fuck you. If I won, I would just be laughing my ass off and bragging the entire time and then post the fucking video, because I will be recording. If you want to debate Comic Curator, I will post that shit on my channel. Or if I lost, I wouldn't really say nothing. Saying fuck you really just proves how childish you are after you fucking lost the formal debate, which wasn't even the formal debate at all from what I've seen. Not only that, he's been bringing up the lie that I've been ducking him. Well, not only did I mention to him multiple times for him to unban me from his server so we can have a formal debate, when all he's been doing is just ducking and claiming that he was rage baiting and shit like that. And for the past week, he has been indeed ducking me, which is actually pretty insane. And saying that I was ducking was pretty fucking hypocritical, when for this past week, you just been ducking and denying my request to have a formal debate. You have never won a debate against me, and I would slam you on any Dragon Ball topic. So yeah, those are the most recent things that he's been lying on. I mean, so some of the other stuff that he's been lying about, and this one looks pretty ambiguous, is talking about that he's been debating Dragon Ball for 30 years. Because that statement is very contradictory in itself. After all, Dragon Ball came to the West in 1996 and only started getting popular around 1998. And remember, Comic Curator is also pushing 40 years old. So he's basically trying to say that he's been debating since he was 10. So saying that he's been debating at a very young age of Dragon Ball just seems very contradictory. Not only that, he's also been making contradictory statements talking about how he was debating science and religion. He also made a statement about bringing PhD professors to come watch our debate. Yet not only did he never debate me and try to play it off as rage bait, that just seems contradictory, because if you had the skills to debate science and religion, then there would be no problem having a formal VC debate against me, who only has little experience against that, as you say. However, no, I do have a lot of experience on not only physics, but I also have experience on philosophy, psychology, and I'm planning to study criminology when I get to college. I've also been busy studying the Japanese kanji, so I myself can translate these daizenshu scans by hand. So I've been pretty busy compared to the Comic Curator, who has just been spreading lies about me. Because unlike him, I do not need to use ChatGPT to interpret all of my arguments. And in fact, you using ChatGPT is even more contradictory to your arguments, because not only can ChatGPT make mistakes, ChatGPT is also a thing that you can manipulate to your will. So the fact that you are using ChatGPT as a reliable source for Japanese kanji and physics is really contradictory, because he's gotten the Japanese kanji of different scans wrong plenty of times, either using wrong translations or getting the context of those translations wrong. And this is a very consistent thing that has been happening for the Comic Curator. Other things he also lied about is us harassing him in his comments when we first met, when in fact it was him that showed up in my comment section. So him saying that I was harassing him when he came to my comments those very months ago is insane. And this is only the first section of his lies. So what has the first section covered? Lies about winning debates against me. Lies about having experience in Dragon Ball for 30 years when Dragon Ball came out in 1996. This next section is just talking about stuff that he lied about power scaling wise, and mostly the things that he's been lying about in his most recent videos. For example, number one, the Comic Curator has been lying about the Japanese kanji placement. Comic Curator thinks that spaces determine the Japanese meaning when in fact it does not. For example, this is one of the translations that we've been arguing about for a couple of days, talking about how the 3 galaxies were destroyed by this evil smoke dragon. I did one with spaces and then I did one without spaces, and what happened? Both of them also had the same meaning. So no, the Japanese do not require spaces to determine meaning. The only reason he's saying this is because, once again, ChatGPT confirmed his argument. And like I said, ChatGPT is not reliable, because not only does it literally said that ChatGPT can make mistakes, you can manipulate ChatGPT to make any argument possible. For example, if I ask ChatGPT to make an argument that 2 + 2 = 5, it's going to use an inference rule of Mona's Tollens and generate a perfect argument that 2 + 2 would be 5 instead of 4. More about the kanji, he also lied that existing infinitely means that they're referring to eternal. What he's referring to is the whole statement that he translated about the galaxies existing infinitely in the universes. So I'm not going to explain this long as hell, because I already explained this in my Kanji 101 video. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. But Mujin does not mean eternal, because I've said this plenty of times. The Japanese differentiates qualitative infinity from temporal infinity. If they was going to use temporal infinity, it should have said Eian ni sonzai suru, which means existing eternally. But the fact that it's referring to it as existing infinitely will refer to as a quantity of something rather than the age of something. Because after all, infinity by default is a quantity or a set of numbers that is not finite. So the fact that they use infinite and not eternal would contradict the statement that they're referring to eternal age. Where did the Comic Curator get that argument from? Once again, from ChatGPT, a non-reliable source, which just proves that the Comic Curator does not know Japanese at all. He has to rely on ChatGPT or the rest of his goons to translate something. Trying to educate the Dragon Ball community on Japanese when you yourself don't know the context of the Japanese kanji and don't know the meaning of the Japanese kanji really qualifies you as a low tier. Most of the Dragon Ball community has been calling you a low tier for these specific reasons, because you do not know how to scale and you do not know how to translate your own kanji, because you claim to have all of the Daizenshuu, but you don't even know what the fuck anything of the Daizenshuu means without using ChatGPT. He also lied about Kid Buu not having any universal feats. We could debate that in a topic such as Kid Buu versus Buhan, but you know he's not going to be able to debate me because he's just going to keep ducking. And he banned me from his server and probably is not going to have me unbanned because he knows he's going to lose at any topic I have. However, if any of his goons or Comic Curator wants to debate me, my Discord is right at the top, and I'm going to keep this up for as long as the video ends, because as long as I'm here, you're not going to be educated in the Dragon Ball community whatsoever. Now, this is enough to talk about those separate sections, so now we're going to be getting to the real shit that he's been saying, which is actually pretty fucking funny considering that all of this is on him. Comic Curator's trying to say that I'm using statements that are endorsing death threats, and what he was referring to is when he got called out for mocking religion. Not only did he get called out for mocking religion multiple times, he tries to play it off as a joke and not take no accountability whatsoever. And he keeps trying to state that that's not what he entailed when there are multiple screenshots that show him mocking religion. And this one right here, he was saying that caste is greater than all of religion. Then in one, he also says that he thinks that caste is greater than actual Yahweh. He also makes up random statements talking about how caste embodies religion and how caste embodies all of fiction. He's also said all this other weird shit, which is, I'm not even about to explain it because this shit looks pretty weird. But remember, this is a 40-year-old man not taking accountability and worshiping a fictional character. Then he also claims that those statements alone, some people decided to give him death threats, which I am going to say in this most respectful way possible. I cannot do that because I don't respect you in any way, but I'm going to try to say this in the most disrespectful way possible, right? The death threats that are getting sent to you and your family are entirely your fault. Maybe you should have thought twice before disrespecting all religion with your statements. And even if you try to play it off as a joke, even if you try to say that you was not intending to do that, the statements say otherwise, and which I don't believe you deserve death threats, but it's entirely your fault that you are receiving these death threats. You and you alone are responsible for the shit you say, and what you decide to say on that day was some absolutely controversial shit that got you shunned from not only the Dragon Ball community, but from other niggas as well, because many Muslims also found that offending. This is another one of those cases where people think that they can say controversial stuff that is absolutely disrespectful and think they can get away with it. For example, Chibi Reviews has been saying absolutely controversial stuff. One, he's been talking about how he supports lolicon and other problematic media, which also not only got him hated by the entire community, but yes, Chibi Reviews also got sent death threats, and not only got sent death threats, I heard he got doxxed and some other shit happened to him as well. But all of this happened is because not only was he supporting the sexualization of little girls, which is really controversial. So if you say controversial shit, which probably is some of the most disrespectful shit ever, you should expect controversial things to happen to you, aka the death threats that was getting sent to you and your family. Your family does not deserve that. However, it is entirely your fault that you are receiving those death threats. Because if I went on Twitter and YouTube and said some absolutely controversial shit that would not only give me banned, but also get shunned from the entire YouTube community as a whole, yeah, no shit, I will also receive death threats. However, the Comic Curator fails to realize that nobody else is responsible for all of that but him. Everything that has happened is all because of you. And very religious niggas do not take that shit lightly. People are getting sent death threats and are actively going to get killed because they are preaching the Bible to Muslims. So if that's happening to them, just imagine the shit that could happen to you. That's why you should watch what you say on the internet, because not only can you get death threats, you can also get doxxed, you can also get swatted like Chibi Reviews did. So stop saying controversial shit if you don't want shit to happen to you. And you trying to preach the Quran and the Torah when the damage has already been done is not you taking accountability accountability. What you should do is write a formal apology to the motherfuckers that you have offended. And that is why I have no sympathy for you, and that's why I have no respect for you. Because as a human, we're required to evolve. It's natural selection. But for you, you do not choose to evolve. You do not choose to accept your failures. You don't even take accountability for your own actions. That's why I don't consider you as a human being. Because as a human being, we are required to evolve. And the fact that you're not evolving, I don't think you count as a human being in my perspective. Not only that, you have to be the biggest attention grabber that I've ever seen. Because you yourself said that you will be quitting Dragon Ball scaling a couple of times. You've been changing your channels left and right, and each change you will say that you will focus on your figure collecting and not focus on power scaling or Dragon Ball debating as a whole. But every time you change your account, you go back to Dragon Ball debating. Not only are you going back on your own word, you are just actively lying to yourself. But of course, you're going to ignore this because you do not take accountability. Then this right here is just proving how childish he is and how much of a coward he is, because he really directly goes to his server and uploads a video, quote unquote, debunking me, when he didn't really debunk anything from this video. But he says, I would need you guys to comment and like so you can stop the guy who was attacking me. So it's only attacking you when somebody debunks your points. The fact that you believe that everything you say is right, and how not only do you insult them with these random ass middle school grade insults, you also lie about them and you also spread multiple defamation things about them. This is just a clear example of a narcissistic personality disorder. Comic Curator, you are one of the biggest narcissists in the debating history, because not only do you duck debates, you just decide to spread random lies about people. And the fact that you decide to spread random lies about me, yeah, no, you was not getting away with that shit. And this shit right here made me laugh, but this just made me solidify him as one of the worst Dragon Ball skills of all time, not counting SSJ, Ryu, and Logical J. This motherfucker has the audacity to say that he would sue me and that he would see me in court. Michael, I am going to say this in the calmest way possible. You are not winning a court case if you ever do that. Because not only do I have many proof to go with my claim, I could just also countersue you for malicious prosecution and defamation. And niggas really be thinking just because they threaten to sue somebody, that means everything is going to calm down. In fact, it makes it even worse. For example, I'm going to compare you to him yet again. Chibi Reviews threatened to sue the people that sent death threats and who was hating on him. But not only did he never do that court case, he also scammed $17,000 from a GoFundMe that he claimed that he was going to be using for that lawsuit. But the fact that he never cut out that lawsuit just shows that he was scamming people just for money. Not only that, you are more susceptible of losing that court case due to not only me having evidence of you talking shit to many niggas multiple times and you starting all these conversations, but also have proof of you mocking religion. So it's more susceptible for me winning that court case. And if I do win that court case, I am going to be laughing my ass off in your face as I look into your weak, feeble eyes while the judge rules in my favor. That's all I'm going to say. Whatever you do next depends on you. However, you are not winning that court case. No way in any possible world, in any possible timeline, in any possible multiverse, I will ever be winning that court case against me. Whenever you want to do it depends on you, and that's all I'm going to say. So what are my final thoughts to the Comic Curator? I would say to try to become a better person or try to change, but you've been doing this for 2 years straight, so it's pretty evident that you are not willing to change. It's not that you can't change, it's that you're not willing to change. Just like we learned in Dragon Ball during the Namek Saga, some people are incapable of changing. Just look at Frieza. In my opinion, the only reason for you to change is not only to make an apology video, but also quit YouTube as a whole. Because not only is the scaling thing not working out for you, because you're getting shit horrible every single time, none of your toy videos ever get any specific amount of views. Nothing is working out for you. However, that is just my opinion. Whatever you do depends on you. I just hope that you actually change. Okay, well, no, that's a lie. I don't really care what happens to them. But what you do next depends on you, man. However, I'm going to put this up for not only you, but for the rest of your goons that are talking shit. talking about they killed Jazzy and all this other bullshit. If any of you want to debate me, my Discord is on the top of this corner for the entire video. So there should be no excuse for you not to come here and debate me. And for any of his goons that are looking to find this shit, just know you can find his religion disrespecting in the Void Lounge, and you can also find when that other nigga was trying to impersonate me. That's all I'm going to say for this video. I would like to not only thank everybody who appeared in my past 2 live streams, for also the people that supported me throughout this journey of hoeing the Comic Curator. And for any other new people that are seeing this, make sure to not only look at this video and my videos of hoeing him, also look at the Curator Files, which also exposes him more. I posted a whole live of the Curator Files. If you need any of it on Discord, you can hit me up on Discord and I can send you the entire file. So make sure to look at Red X's new video, because Red X is also going to be posting a call out video on the Comic Curator. Other than that, that's all I have to say. Comic Curator, man up and debate me. Try to change and actually learn how to debate, because it's not working for you. Anyways, that is going to be the end of the video. All right, peace.